In 1882, while investigating a family that cured illness with blood, a sheriff vanished. Milk back in a jar was his badge. And that one wasn't even the worst. Welcome to Gothic Ledger, where the records they tried to burn still whisper. If you're watching from an old town, a mountain road, or anywhere the wind sounds like it's spelling names, in the comments, drop your time and location. Our witnesses, we want to know where they are. Hit subscribe. If you're still breathing, like. Tonight, 10 sealed case files were opened by us, and what we found in the Appalachian dark was never meant to be read aloud. For a reason, God made these mountains high, to keep what lives in them away from decent folk. Sheriff Elias Penley, Rowan County Journal, 1882. Above Hollow Bend, the Marrowbones settled the ridge sometime after 1817, building their compound where the forest folded in on itself, and the sun forgot to shine. A quiet infestation, they were, more than an incoming family, spreading across acres without ever being seen in town. After 1840, census takers stopped visiting their cabin. Never was mail delivered, and from county maps altogether, the trail that led to their homestead was eventually removed. They are remembered, if at all, for the silence. No dogs, no music, no fire smoke even in winter. Just stillness, like the place had been abandoned years before. But it hadn't. The structure was peculiar. 2 stories, no windows on the north side, a slate roof that locals swore never leaked despite the rains. An outbuilding with no visible door was behind the house. What it was for, no one knew. They called it the watching shed. The central mystery was the attic. A former deputy, Silas Crowder, who later took his own life, claimed to have peeked through a crack in the slats in 1879. Inside he reported seeing 3 chairs arranged in a semicircle, each occupied by a mummified corpse dressed in old wedding clothes, their mouths stitched close with fishing line. A 4th chair, empty, facing them, was described by Silas. A local woman named Elsie Landrum, aged 83 at the time of questioning, recalled a girl from the Marrowbones, M.N.A. or Mina records vary, coming into her shop in 1866 to purchase white thread and kerosene. The girl, barely 10 years old, paid with a silver dollar marked with 3 tiny holes drilled through Lincoln's face. Elsie said the child smelled like basements and never blinked once during the entire exchange. Passed through whispers was the family's belief that death did not sever connection. It only amplified it. To silence the spirit was to bury the body. To keep the protection alive was to preserve it. Complicit by inaction were the townspeople of Hollow Bend. No lawman dared question the Marrowbones, and no preacher would climb their ridge. When a child went missing in 1868, it was quietly understood, though never spoken, that she'd wandered too far uphill. From small garden plots and traps set in the woods came the family's sustenance. They ate less than a man ought to, some said, and more than an animal should. One journal entry recovered from a burned church box in 1883 contained the following passage. I saw the eldest Marrowbone son walking barefoot in the frost. He didn't speak but he hummed. The sound God help me. It was like furniture moving beneath the floor. No Marrowbone ever attended school. The county tried once. A teacher was dispatched in the spring of 1871. Her name was Miss Harriet Coates. She vanished 4 days later. All that was found was her teaching slate hanging from a tree branch edged with the word listen. Above every doorway, numbers were carved, always 3, sometimes 6. One trespasser, a bootlegger named Jarvis Dan, who mistook their land for a smuggling route, was found wandering the forest 2 days later, barefoot and sobbing, muttering, "They showed me the 3rd door. It's in the cellar, but it's not real." The cellar, by the way, has never been found. Not by lawmen, not by state officials. Yet, multiple accounts reference the door beneath the roots. The Marrowbones line thin after 1903. A harsh winter and a regional epidemic took many of the ridge dwellers, but some believe their rituals continued underground. In 1926, a WPA surveyor reported seeing pale children watching him from the trees near Hollow Bend. When he returned the next day with another man, they found only 3 perfectly arranged chairs in a clearing, one of which still carried the warmth of someone recently seated. There is no conclusive photograph of any Marrowbone family member. Every attempt to document them in public records is either smudged, erased, or simply missing. Sheriff Elias Penley's final entry on the family, dated October 12, 1882, reads, "The bones are still talking. I hear them every time the wind comes from the ridge." That entry was later crossed out in thick charcoal with one word added beneath it. Sealed.